Ahoj.
Ahoj, prišli sme do Hongkongu. Ideš na terminál? Myslíš, že cez obchod, aby si po ceste niečo kúpil? Hej, keby náhodou sme sa zle obliekli. Lebo nám bolo povedané, že nemôžeme mať čierne a biele trička.
Not to show affiliation to the protesters, as anti-government demonstrations took place in the Hong Kong at the time.
Tak som si kúpila zelený čaj, aby sme rozmenili stovku. A dostala som vlnkovú mincu. Jej! Aká pekná. Ako kvetinka. Dve osoby. A ideme. Hurá! Máme. Môžeme ísť na metro. Vystúpili sme na Tsim Sha Tsui Station. OK, poďme.
This 6-meter-high bronze statue depicts the awards that filmmakers receive at the annual Hong Kong Film Awards, which were established in 1982 as the equivalent of the American Academy Awards.
Presne moja veľkosť. OK. Toto nebude tvoja veľkosť. Snažíme sa nájsť koho? Zabavného brata Stana Leeho. Počkaj, teraz mám hlbokú myšlienku. Keďže Stan Lee je nudný brat Brucea Leeho, tak Bruce Lee je zabavný brat Stana Leeho. Konečne našli Brucea Leeho.
Bruce Lee, a well-known actor, director, philosopher, but most of all a martial artist. He was born in America and died right here in Hong Kong on July 20, 1973 at the age of 32. His death was allegedly caused by an allergic reaction to a headache medication caused by cerebral edema. The Hong Kong Club of Bruce Lee collected $100,000 for a life-size statue where Bruce Lee is in a pose from the movie Fist of Fury. The statue was unveiled by his brother Robert Lee in 2005 on the occasion of Bruce Lee's 65th birthday.
Green tea with honey. A to je špeciálna edícia na nový rok 2020. Ochutnávka? Je sladký.
Ani nie.
Tebe nič nie je dosť sladké.
Janka je sladká.
Hej.
Hej.
clock tower is only a remnant of a former railway station built in 1915. The clock operation was interrupted only during the Japanese occupation of Hong Kong in World War II, when the tower suffered damage which is still visible today.
Janka je v Hongkongu. Za mnou, ja neviem, kam idem.
Rovno, stále rovno.
Shopping bulvár nekonečne dlhý.
Už sme na konci, takže je konečne dlhý.
若這一刻我竟嚴重痴呆，根本不需要被愛，永遠在床上發夢，餘生都不會再悲哀。承受失戀，明年今日別要再失眠，才新婚的盛宴，和樂地等待你出現。明年今日未見你一見，誰捨得改變？離開的60年。
Uprostred parku stánok McDonald's. To až vonia po čokoláde. To je čokoládové. Ideme sa trajektom prepraviť na druhú stranu.
The maximum price of transport to the other side is less than 50 cents.
Automat na dážniky. Akože vážne.
In the second part of the day we went to Victoria Peak, which is located on the Hong Kong island. We used the Star Ferry company for transport to the other side. As I mentioned, the ticket is very cheap and the ferry runs every 6 to 12 minutes. This sightseeing wheel is 60 meters high and it turns around 3 times for less than 4 euros, while the ride takes about 20 minutes.
Poschodová električka. To je smiešné, lebo je úzká a vysoká. To vyzerá ako prečo tie pritiahnuté tváre.
Victoria Peak is accessible by funicular railway. We reach the station on foot in about half an hour. The construction of the peak tram dates back to 1885. Most of the heavy equipment and rails needed for the construction were pulled uphill by workers without mechanical support. At the time of its completion, the tram was considered a miracle of technology. Until 1926, passengers were divided into 3 classes. British colonial officers and Victoria Peak residents were transported in the first class. The second class was for the British military and the Hong Kong police force personnel. The third class was used by other people together with animals. In the first half of the 20th century, the first 2 seats were reserved for the governor of Hong Kong, and the remaining seats could be occupied by passengers up to 2 minutes before the departure. The peak tram route is 1.4 km long, an elevation of just under 400 meters. You will pay about €6 or $7 for a return ticket.
Držte si toho, jedeme 100%.
This is the peak terminus. Passengers, please alight on the right.
The big tram took us to Victoria Peak. To reach the very top, it is necessary to go through several floors full of shops, restaurants and other tourist attractions. Victoria Peak is actually the highest hill on a Hong Kong island, with an altitude of 552 meters. Already in 19th century, it attracted important European inhabitants due to its panoramic view of the city. Victoria Peak is not only Hong Kong's main tourist attraction, but there are also several luxury residences. For example, on January 12, 2014, a Barger Road property was sold for 690 million Hong Kong dollars. In addition to the tram, it is also possible to get to the top by bus, car or on foot.
Thank you for using the peak tram.
Už jsme přišli z výletu.
This is a partial view of Symphony of Lights. We found the anti-terrace of the restaurant, which at least gave us a view of the famous Hong Kong light show, as we were not able to transport back to the other side in time. We will definitely see it in its full beauty tomorrow.